Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So today I would just like to go over a few tips and tricks I have for growing your club and overall getting more active and daily players. So really, I would say the 5 main topics I'm going to go over today would be your individual club members, along with the club description, club name, the settings, and then really just patience overall is what's needed to grow a club. So to start off with the club members, I would say you can see our club here, we have quite a few at 100,000, and then you can see it dwindles off quite a bit as you go. I'm even in 23rd place here, but really to get started out, say you're just starting a club out right now, and it's only yourself, I would say that you really need to be patient and hope that people will find your club. But one thing you can do that I had to do a little bit is recruit people or find 2 friends that you know will be loyal and active to your club, because if you just have 2 to 3 friends or anyone who can just join your club, that really helps it out because it'll boost it when people are looking for clubs, and they'll see that there are already some people in the club and that might intrigue them or make them want to join. But really also loyal members are important, because if you just have people that are constantly leaving or rejoining, it can create kind of chaos within the club, and you might just see groups of people leave and then you lose a lot of trophies in your club at once. So finding some key members that are active, it's really important to be able to keep everyone engaged and also be able to continue and grow your club so you don't have all those people continuously leaving. Alright, so next up I'll be going over the club description, which as you can see I pretty much filled ours up as much as possible, and I don't know too much about this one, but I will say I feel like it has helped. So it does look kind of cluttered at first, but as you look into it, I really just repeat the name again. I said Club Golem, put trophies there, so it kind of represents we're a high trophy club or we're more competitive than others. So we're a semi-pro club. We have some people that are high masters, and then we also engage in ranked, pushing a lot in that, and 2.3 million trophies. So it's good to show that trophy number again to really kind of get the idea to people that wow, your club really does have quite a bit of trophies. And we're 985th place in the United States, so I said top 1,000 because people are wow, that's pretty cool, astounding number there. And then active and the 5 days inactivity kick, that's an important one because you want to have some rules set within your club to make sure that people don't go inactive or just kind of do whatever they want. And it's good to also let people know that they won't feel like they're going to be one who has to be active or lead the whole club. They'll know that there are rules in place, and the rules are kind of tricky because you want to make sure you're fair but also lenient, because if you're really harsh and you're just kicking everyone out in 5 days, whether they're a vice president, a new member, or a senior, that might be a little unfair. So you got to kind of see oh, maybe someone's on vacation, you can be a little lenient and just give them a warning or something else rather than just kicking them, because it might seem a little too mean. And that's also another way you could lose trophies too. If you're too strict with your rules, then you may end up kicking a lot of people, or people might not like that as much. So you might have to do a little work on that and find your perfect rules. So that will really help out, is having some good rules in place. And then at the end, I finished the description with Go Golem, kind of again mentioning the name and getting hype built up around the club. And so overall, I'd say the club description is important, but not as important as having those key members, as I mentioned previously. So that's for the club description. Alright, so for the club name, which is what we'll be going over next, I would say that it can be pretty important. I don't know how important this one really is, but you can actually see I made a mistake when I made this club. See how the G in Golem is actually green and spaced out? So you have to do a certain method to change the text color within your club name, and that actually makes it really hard for people to find your club through the search, which that really can kind of lessen the traction that you'll get from the outside, because people won't be able to search your club. It'll only pop up in their recommended, or they can join through other friends who are already in the club. So that does make it challenging. So what I would recommend, honestly, is going with a simple name and something catchy, because we have some people in the club who used to have their names as Golem, and you can see I'll show an example here, and kind of you can build hype around that as well, as I mentioned previously, because that club name can really it represents people in your club, but also what your club's about. So you can choose any word, or you'll see some of the top clubs have actual meanings or words or slogans, so any of that stuff can all help build your club. It's something simple and something that might be searched for, and it'll just overall get more traction for your club. And if it's a cool name too, people might even put it like in their username or shorten it to make like a little team name in front of their username. So club name can be pretty important, I would say. So that's definitely something to focus on. Alright, so right now I'm in club settings, which will be the final part really within the club area that we'll talk about. And so you can see there's the badge, which I don't think it's too important really, but make it something that kind of represents your club. Like ours has the green G in it, so I made it a green badge with a star. There was nothing that could really represent the golem, but that works fine. And then you can see description there, which we already went over. And then you always want to make sure your club is open, unless maybe you want to close it off if you don't want any more people to join for some reason. And then required trophies. So this is a tricky one. When I started this club, we only had like 70,000 total trophies. It was me and a friend and someone else when we started this club 1 year ago. And overall, I would say that's one of the more important things. Like we kept it really low at first. Like we had 25,000 trophies required because you honestly, I'm sorry to break it to you, but you won't have like 100,000 people joining your club if it's really new. I mean, you might have a few here and there, and it's hard to get them to stay because we've had a lot of them leave. So you can go for like people who are lower trophies, and if they're active, they'll probably gain trophies really quickly. We had some members that started in our club at 15,000, and they're at like 50,000 trophies now. So really, you can put it low, and that's a good way to get members early on because there will be new people who are like excited to play and they're ready to trophy push. But as you get to a club that has more trophies, you can definitely feel free to raise that to a higher like limit based on how many people are in your club, and that'll also help people join because they're going to be like, oh, you're not letting low trophy people join, because they'll see that you're working towards improving the club and not just staying at that trophy, because a lot of people want to see improvement in their club and quickly. And then family friendly, I don't know how much this one matters, but I have it turned on because that allows more people to join, whereas if it was off, some people, like their accounts are locked for some reason, they can't join clubs that aren't family friendly. And then club location, you can just base it on wherever you're at. Like our club is mainly based in the United States, so that's why that one was chosen. And overall club settings, I would say, are one of the more important things because you can manage your description, badge, the open or closed club, required trophies, and location. Alright, so I'll be ending off the video here, and thank you for everyone who made it this far. But some final tips I would give is use the messaging system, the club mail. This has actually been a pretty important thing I've noticed. A lot of people actually like this, and like I used to do a question of the day where I just send something fun out to the club, but really as club president, your role is to keep your members engaged and active daily. So I'm not saying you have to be on 24 hours a day, but being on like an hour a day or just popping in here and there to talk in like the club chat, that can be really like fun and get people engaged, because then people want to stay and talk and they actually enjoy like the members within the club. So it's not only for gameplay, they also like have fun just hanging out with club members or playing, and it's a good way to also meet like a good team to play. Like recently I beat the Brawl Stars championship challenge where you had to win the 15 with some of my club members. And so really as president, like make sure you're keeping people engaged. That's a huge thing. And then also, like, you can see I have a lot of vice presidents and seniors, and I would say that's another thing that I use a lot is once you have those loyal members that you can trust and you know they're going to be there, you can give them like senior or vice president rank, and they'll help you manage the club, so you're not always going to have that pressure or be expected to really be on like 24 hours a day where you're on that grind, and it gives you some breaks so you don't get burnt out or like something like that where you don't feel motivated to play or help the club out anymore. And then I guess overall just have fun and make sure that you are keeping your club engaged, and make sure you actually enjoy doing what you're doing, because if it's too hard to run a club, I wouldn't do it, because you can definitely find some that there are already good like leaders and that you can just join as a member and you don't have to worry about that pressure of running a club. So hopefully this video helped you out and you'll be able to start a club. You can let me know in the comments and I can check some clubs out.